Hello, it's Jane here. I am at a plot today, which is what I normally say, but it's not the normal plot. It's not my plot, because today I am really excited to be out on a little garden visit to see someone who I've been following for the last couple of years and has got just such a lovely piece of land that we want to show you around. And you might have picked up where I am by looking at the shed, because I know this particular person films quite a few of her videos in this absolutely gorgeous shed, which looks even nicer in reality than it does on video. It's just beautiful. If I also tell you that she has a horse called Garth, another couple of horses as well, but you'll see those in a minute, and two beautiful dogs who've only got 7 legs between them. You might already know who I'm talking about, and today I'm going to show you around the lovely Rue from Rue's Life garden. So Rue, tell me a little bit about yourself and why it was that you moved here and you've decided to live this gorgeous, gorgeous life out in the Welsh countryside.
So we've always lived in the countryside, right from being a little girl, and we were renting a cottage and we had the horses on a livery yard, and we can't have been as settled as we thought we were because I was always looking, and we saw this place come up and I came to have a look round and just fell in love with it. And although I'd always imagined myself either by the sea or the mountains and not sort of Shropshire Plains, it's just beautiful. It
is, and I mean, you say Shropshire Plains, but when I think of plains, I always think of really, really flat land. Yes. It's not like that.
It's isn't, but compared to
green.
Sort of
well, to the mountains.
The hills.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, you've got how many acres have you got here?
We've got 10 acres. Yeah. Just short of 10 acres.
Okay, so that gives you plenty of scope to do, well, whatever you want, really.
Pretty much.
You know, so I think what we'll do is, if it's all right with you, should we have a little look around and see what you've been up to with these 10 acres? Because I just keep looking around. It's just gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
We do love it here.
Okay, should we start off with the chickens?
Absolutely.
Okay. Let's have a little look. What are your chickens?
So we've got 3 ex-battery and 6 Old English game.
Oh, beautiful. And the ex-battery, how long have you had them?
So these 3, just over a year.
Okay. And they're all happily laying?
Very much so. So they're getting an average of 4 to 5 eggs a day at the moment, but it's time where they do lay a little bit less.
Because I think some people do think with ex-battery they're past the laying, best.
Yes.
And, it's not really worth getting them, but ours do well.
No, ours are fantastic. I think their production does drop, which is why they don't keep them on.
Yeah.
But I've been taking on expats for 20 years.
Yeah.
And they're fantastic layers.
Okay, and it's not just the ex-battery you've got there. You've got this gorgeous little one in the middle here. What are these ones?
So these are the Old English game, and we took them on 2, maybe 3 years ago. We had 2 mummy hens with chicks that were a day old, and the deal was it was a friend, so she allowed us to take mummy and babies, and then when the babies were old enough, she took back the boys and the mummies, and we just kept the girls.
Oh, they're beautiful.
And they are gorgeous. And I've always liked these old-fashioned, oldie-worldy ones.
And what Rue didn't point out was this fantastic chicken house up in the tree. What a great place to be a chicken. Okay, Rue, where are we off to now?
We're going to see the horses.
Fantastic. Now, I've seen Garth on the video. I know you like to take him out daily. Is it daily that you ride him?
A couple of times a week,
but
if I can.
You've got others as well?
So we've got Garth, who's the main man.
Yep.
We have Fish.
Yep.
And Sunny, the little pony.
Should we go and see?
Yes.
Well, I recognise the one on the left. That one is Garth. And I think they're perhaps being tempted, you'll have to excuse the camera going up and down here, but they're perhaps being tempted by what Rue's got in her bucket. Okay, let's just have a little look at these beautiful boys.
No, you can have it out of my hand. Yeah. And some for Mr. Fish.
And so how old are these two, Rue?
So Garth is 24 this year.
Good grief.
Big boy here.
Yeah.
Fish is getting bully. He will be 15.
15, my goodness me.
And little Ponyo is
let's get
only a baby. He must be 5 this year.
Oh, and were you saying he's actually a Welsh mountain pony?
Yes.
So he's actually lived up in the mountains?
He spent the first years of his life living on the Carneddau mountain range, so
Oh,
up in the Welsh hills.
what a lovely place. So I was going to say retire, but he's only 5, but what a lovely place for him to be now. He gets on with the other horses, does he?
Yes, he does. Funny faces at you, showing you his dirty teeth.
Oh, there we go, Fish. I was just saying what a handsome boy you were. Oh, of course, he stopped doing it now. Put the camera. Come on, Fish. You funny boy. And no sooner have we filled up on chicken. Oh, that sounds bad, doesn't it? No sooner we filled up on chickens and horses, then you turn round and there's 5 gorgeous sheep looking at you. I mean, I'm going to try and zoom in here because one of them, is it Dottie? You'll see why she's called Dottie.
Oh yes, you can
She's got the most amazing markings on her. You know, but these are, again, what sort of sheep are these, Rue?
They're Wiltshire Horn.
Okay. And they're pets?
They are pets, really,
Oh.
yes. The plan was to breed from them, but we just didn't do it.
No, and they're too cute.
And now they're just fat old ladies.
Yeah, well, I know that feeling. So, yeah, oh, they're beautiful. So, but I bet you they go around munching the grass, keep your grass nice
They
and
do a
flat and all
brilliant
that sort
job
of thing.
lawn mowing, yes
Yeah,
they do.
yeah, they're gorgeous. Okay, and I'm really excited to look in this place because I think Richard and Paul call it the
Pretty Polly.
Pretty Polly. So let's have a little look in Rue's Polytunnel because I know when I've seen it before on video, it's always incredibly tidy. Look, it's so tidy. Oh, it's really well organised. It's big. It's much bigger than I thought, actually. It's lovely. Yeah, really lovely. Right, Rue, talk us through your Polly.
Well, it was the biggest one we could afford, and we've had it for 4 years now.
So I noticed, I mean, a lot of people, and us in particular, we've got the central path and we've got just beds either side, but notice you've got raised beds in here. Does that work better for you?
I find it works really, really well.
Yeah.
I actually was inspired by my sister's Polytunnel, which is the same make.
Okay.
Hers is bigger again.
Yeah.
And she had raised beds up both sides.
Okay.
And I just really liked it.
Yeah, and then on this side. So have you got anything in at the moment? These are
So,
onions?
Leek seedlings.
Leeks.
And on the right, I have got some red onion, red baron.
Oh, right, okay. And what else have you got growing at the moment?
So we've got some peas.
Okay. Yep.
And I have got, in the big bed, we've got some spinach and chard seeds. I'm just waiting on some germination.
Mm-hmm.
Turnip, golden ball and snowball. And I can't remember if I've put 4 or 6 rows in there of carrots.
And when you think now, it's, where are we now? Middle of November, aren't we, really?
Yeah.
And so it's still, you're still sowing and growing.
Yes.
And all because you've got a polytunnel, which is just
It really extends that growing season.
huge advantage, isn't it? And I notice you've got your hanging baskets up here. What happens with these?
So through the summer months, I used to grow things like baby beet leaf salad, radishes, that kind of thing. But this year I just filled them up with flowers, and they're really, really pretty.
Okay, yeah. So it's lovely, isn't it? And what a great place to come, because you can come and garden in the rain, can't you? You know.
I also feel very smug when it's raining because I can still get in and do.
Oh, tomatoes.
Yes, tomatoes.
Why have you got tomatoes in November?
Because I haven't got round to pulling them
All
down.
right, okay.
The green ones, but I don't think they're going to come into anything.
No. But you know what? They still look really healthy,
Look
don't
amazing,
they?
don't they?
Okay, brilliant, lovely indoor space. Shall we have a little look at your veg beds?
Oh yes, let's.
Come on then. So just outside the polytunnel here, you've got you've got a substantial number of things still growing. And like I say, middle of November. What have we got, Rue?
So this is my purple sprouting broccoli.
Yeah.
I've got some curly kale and some Brussels sprouts.
Oh wow! Oh wow! Now I'm coming round now. Yeah, I can see those. Look at that curly kale. That's beautiful. That's like, you can imagine that in a flower arrangement, couldn't you? Really, you know, you can imagine it in a flower arrangement. That kale.
Oh, it's just beautiful, isn't it?
Isn't it? It's gorgeous, gorgeous.
And considering I had such a terrible history with brassicas,
Yeah.
and didn't grow them for about 20 years, I've had a really successful season with them.
You know, Roo, when we did that question time with Liz and Erica, was it you who said about growing brassica? It was, wasn't it? Yeah. But isn't that great now? I think that sort of shows how things evolve. You can't just say, oh, I'm never going to do that, I'm not going to try that. It's always just worth a go, isn't it?
Absolutely,
You know?
yeah. And it was the brassica cage. If
Yeah.
I hadn't put that netting over it, I probably would have had yet another disaster.
Yeah.
So it is sometimes, I think, a lot of things you can just kind of muddle along,
Yeah.
but there are some things that do need specific ways to be grown, and I think for me, brassicas are one of those.
Well, you've cracked it.
I certainly have.
And I seem to remember that you didn't, on your video the other day, is this why you've got your onions?
This one here, yeah.
Very good.
About 200, so there is a lot crammed into a small space, but
Yeah.
it's worked before, so do it again.
Yeah, yeah.
So yes, I've got radar and electric.
Okay, okay. And again, middle of November, overwintering, that's brilliant. What have you got? Are they your squash? You've still got squash coming up in the background.
So the squash went in really late this year because of a disastrous start, and they've been really successful. I've had a brilliant harvest. I've got quite a lot that I've been seasoning, and they are in the house now in a big basket. And there's still just a few. There's a, I don't know if you can see the crown prince there in the middle.
Yeah.
There's a tiny Yukikikuri.
Oh, yeah.
And there are, in fact, I've got the tiniest. I cannot grow the butternut.
No,
They only
I
ever get
can't.
to about that big.
Yeah, same here.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not just me.
No, don't know why. All the other squash are fine.
They all do brilliantly, planted
Yeah.
at the same time, same conditions.
Yeah.
And this is the 3rd year now.
Yeah. Tiny. Oh. Okay. And I can't believe I'm saying you've got a spare bit of land because you have got 10 acres. But what's your plan for this bit, Roo?
So we'd like to have some kind of a patio or decking area here.
Uh-huh.
And then right where you're standing, we're going to put a fairly big bed, which I just want to dedicate to flowers.
Yeah.
And then to the left of you and the right of me is where we're going to make our wildflower meadow.
Beautiful. So there's plenty coming up.
Oh yes, watch this space.
Right, okay, well here we are back in Ruth's gorgeous living room, and you can tell actually it's going dark. I don't know if you can see behind me, but the sun is just starting to go beyond the chickens out there. But this is such a lovely room, and we've even got some of your little pumpkins here. We've even got your pumpkins, and if you you may have seen this either in my Facebook group or on Rue's page, the plum and banana cake that you made fresh yesterday, just for me. Oh, so, and it's been absolutely gorgeous. I'll give it a thumbs up, 10 out of 10. But it's been really, really lovely to come and look at Rue's place, because I think really sometimes, especially on YouTube, you see all these different channels and everyone seems to do things a different way. And it's only when you get to someone's place and have a look round, you realise, actually, yeah, I do it that way, or that's a good idea. And it's just so nice to be able to share what we do together. And we've realised, I mean, I've just had to make a phone call now because I was supposed to have left an hour ago. And believe it or not, both Rue and I can talk, and so we're a little bit over schedule, and also that's why it's going dark, so we've got plenty of lights on, so I hope that you can see us. But we have just come in, and I've promised Rue that I will go soon, but we're just having a cup of tea and another bit of cake, and I just want to say thank you. It's been really, really nice. I mean that genuinely as well, to actually come and see you, you know.
It's been fantastic. Yeah,
but it's but yeah, you can tell just talking to you today, and you can tell by watching your channel as well, that you do genuinely love what you're doing, and your lifestyle is very much based around what you do. I know you've got, sounds awful to say, a proper job, but you have got another job and everything, but it seems that this is something that you do for the joy of it,
yes,
for the sheer passion
absolutely,
of doing it, you know. And so has it always been like that? Were you brought up with gardening in the family?
A little bit. I mean, not on this scale. So I was born in Scotland.
Oh,
and
right,
we lived
okay.
at the bottom of a mountain.
Okay.
So we didn't have the best garden in the world.
Yeah.
But my mum loved to grow, and I can remember I probably would have been about 4 or 5 being given a packet of seeds.
All right.
And they were just a flour mix. But that wonder and amazement of putting seeds
Starts
in
early
and
on.
watching them
Yeah,
sprout.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
very much from my mum. And my mum's dad, my granddad, had an amazing vegetable garden.
Well, I suppose if it was your granddad, so what sort of era are we looking at there? When would he have had his vegetable garden? Because I'm thinking about my mum. Would it have been like the 30s, 40s, round about then? It would have been all the Dig for Victory
Very
stuff
much
going
so,
on though,
yeah,
wouldn't it? You know, because I think what's interesting nowadays, and we were discussing this before about how the interest in gardening over here in the UK especially has really peaked since we've had this awful COVID nonsense going on. And we're saying quite a few people have done it and have decided it's not for them. But so many people, it's like they've discovered it and realised the joy that you get from it. But I suppose, and like you're saying about your granddad's day, it was very much digging to provide for yourselves and your family. It was a necessity, yeah. And I suppose we're lucky in today's day and age. I say lucky, you can see both sides of the coin. You're lucky that you could just go and get your food from a nearby supermarket. And that is something that I get asked all the time. Is it worth the effort? They see you, they might watch your videos, or they see you turning up covered in, I turned up today covered in straw, you know, and they see you covered in mud, straw, working really hard for basically sometimes carrots with me, what's not really worth growing. But they say, well, why don't you just go and get it from the supermarket? But what is it, Rue? Can you explain? Why do we do it? It's so difficult to put in a nutshell.
Yeah. But, well, for me, getting in a car and driving to a supermarket doesn't really fill me with joy.
Well, yeah.
But growing, and I think we were talking as a group more recently about the fact that we didn't think we were going to get a very good season, and was it all worth it? And actually it panned out in the end. But for me, even if you don't actually get, we'll use carrot for an example, the carrot, it doesn't take the enjoyment from the initial preparing the soil, sowing the seed, watching it germinate, watching it grow, nurturing and watering. That's still pleasure all the way through. And it's great if you get your end result. But that is the process.
I think it's the process, isn't it? And even the planning. I think this time of year with a lot of us, I know you're doing some gardening over the winter, and I'm trying to do some more this year over winter, but as soon as it starts to get the time, around about February, January even, where you start to think, yeah, we're going to do this year's garden, you start to plan again, and you're itching to go, aren't you? By the time it gets to March, my goodness me. And there's that rhythm, isn't there?
Yes.
And it keeps you in touch
with
what's going on around you, and in a really valuable way, I think. So yeah, and you can see it. You can see as you look round, Drew, it's just such a lovely place. It's a lovely thing. It really comes through. But before I go, and I promise I will go, it's going to be short. It was going to be a 10-minute video, you know. What's your top tip? For all these people, just going back to the people who have taken it on this year, I think it's been generally explained that it's been a rough year to do your gardening.
It has been a tough start.
So those people who might decide that, nah, we tried it, we're not going to do it again, what would you say?
Don't give up. Even people that have been growing for years, I've had a rough season this season, and will always have successes and failures. But my top tip is grow what you enjoy eating. And that might sound balmy.
No.
There's no point growing all these lovely things if they're going to end up on the compost heap. So grow what you enjoy.
Yeah, I think that's good. That's good. And if you enjoy growing what you enjoy, it's a win-win.
Absolutely.
Okay, Rue, well, I'd just like to say thank you again so much. If you want to visit Rue's channel, if you haven't been already, I'm going to put all the details down below. So go and say hello, subscribe. And if you like this video, have a little subscribe to my channel as well. And hopefully we'll see you all again soon. Thank you. Bye for now.